Emo Sawa Productions.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling Tacos Wrestler of the Week. I'm Annie, and this is Franco, and we have the wonderful, the fashionista, Devin Carter with us today.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Yay! It's so exciting to have you on, and we get to talk about yourself, at least.
I know. So it feels good to talk about myself and not have to talk about Richie and Brandon.
Always good. Always.
Uh-huh.
So we start off this interview with actually icebreaker questions to get to know you a little bit more. So the first question that we have is, what's your favorite band that you listen to?
My favorite band, right? Currently, they were my favorite when I was growing up, and then I kind of fell out of love with them, but now I'm listening to their stuff more and more. But I don't know if you know the band of TATU.
No. Oh, is it like tattoo or tattoo?
Yeah. Recently I've been listening to a lot of them, but Flyleaf would have to be one of my favorites. Evanescence, like those three are my favorite bands to listen to at the moment right now.
Nice. I'm a big emo scene kid, so I'm like, those bands just bring back so many memories.
Yes.
What's the weirdest thing you collect, or anything you collect, really?
I have a couple of a couple of collections I have going on right now. I currently collect Funko Pops. They're very popular right now. I like collecting the anime lines. Um, I like collecting a lot of Disney items. I'm a big Disney fan, so I have plushies, backpacks, knickknacks of Disney. I think those two are my weird little collections that I have going on right now.
What anime pops you
got? Right now I have the complete set for Fruits Basket. I'm working on my Avatar, the Last Airbender one, and then of course Naruto. I'm working on that one as well.
Our daughter's collecting My Hero Academia. We have a couple of Death Note, or we had a couple of Death Note.
We had.
And what other anime ones do we have? Sailor Moon.
Oh, Sailor Moon. Yeah.
Lucky.
That one's so hard to complete because every time I need something, it always goes up in price. Like right now, I wanted a Black Lady, and she's around $600, $650.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm like, nope, never mind. I'll just leave that one alone.
Yeah, I've been wanting to collect the Sailor Moon ones, and they're just so much in price. I'm like, I don't want to collect it and then have gaps in the collection. I like having a full collection. But it's sad.
I feel that. Favorite wrestler growing up?
My favorite wrestler growing up, it's kind of hard to choose just one because I have a multiple favorite wrestlers because they all impact me in different ways. Growing up, of course, there was always the men. But for me, I always gravitated more towards the women side of wrestling. I've always been a women's wrestling fan. So I guess for my favorite women's wrestler would have to be either Tori Wilson or Victoria. But if it would have to be men's, of course, everyone's I feel is Eddie Guerrero or Shawn Michaels.
Your face
expression. Like Eddie Guerrero. Your favorite WrestleMania moment?
I have my favorite WrestleMania moment would have to be honestly Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair in his retirement match. I think that was a really good one. Undertaker versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee was another really good one for me. I don't know. There's just so many that I can't really think of, but those two are my tops.
The Shawn Michaels Ric Flair was the super kick heard around the world.
Yes.
I think that was the first WrestleMania No, that was the second WrestleMania I saw, but that one was really good. I enjoyed that WrestleMania a lot. Then Triple H and Undertaker, that was the end of an era one. I think that one was really good.
Yeah, they're both really good matches. I think Ric Flair versus Shawn, that one like made me like tear up, made me feel something again. Like when I watched it.
Yeah, I was a kid. I really didn't. As a kid, whenever I was growing up, I didn't care for either of them at that time, and I still kind of like teared up a little bit when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite quote you live by?
Of course, I'm the fashionista, so I watch a lot of fashion shows, a lot of Project Runway, and like the one that like stuck to me is like the line that they always give: "One day you're in, one day the next day you're out." And I feel like not only does that work in fashion, but it also works in wrestling. Like you can take a break, and then the next when you come back, someone's in your spot. So for me, I always try to be on my game. I always try to be there as much as I can, push as much as I can, because you never know when your spot's going to be taken.
We had this question last week because I think we already explained it. But in the ring, what to you is the hardest part of the ring whenever you hit it?
Like the hardest part of the ring when I hit it?
Yeah, like
in your sense, what is the hardest part of the ring to you?
Like the apron? Like is that what you mean? Like the
like
when you bump?
Yeah, people are always saying it's the apron, but like why? I feel like it'll be different for everybody. Like whenever you take a bump, what's been the hardest part?
I honestly, I'm gonna agree with everyone else. It's the apron part, just because that's a hybrid of metal and wood. So it's like you get a little bit of both. You never know. You can be, if you hit too much on one side, you get metal. If you hit too much on the other, you get straight wood. So it's like kind of in the middle. So I would have to agree with the apron.
For the apron. Three wrestlers who inspired your character.
Three wrestlers. I would have to go, it would have to go with, one would be Dolph Ziggler. He's a show off. His mannerisms, his in-ring ability, also his mic skills are really good. I like how he carries himself.
His hair.
Yeah, his hair. I would also have to say Eddie Guerrero, just because of his lie, cheating, steal era. Like that was such a great era. And as a heel, that's what I want to come off as. Like do anything to win as much as possible. Another one that I really liked watching, but it's kind of like controversial, is Velveteen Dream. I think his mannerisms and how he like presented himself as a character really like set in with me, just because he knew how to work the crowd, whether he was a face or a heel. He just had everyone behind him. But I would say those three were like where I center my character around.
Those are three good ones. We're down to the last two. The last two are food related. The last one we didn't say, but it's a make or break type thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose the wrong answer, we're gonna end it. If you the right answer, we'll keep it going.
Mm.
But your favorite type of donut?
My favorite type of donut, I think it would have to be it's at Krispy Kreme, the Oreo donut. I tried it, like it looks like a lot, and I was like, oh, I don't know, like I don't think I could be eating this on my diet. But it was a Saturday, so I was like, let me try it, and oh, it was so good. I think that was one of my favorites.
Anything with Oreo is pretty good.
Anything with Oreo.
Yeah, Oreos is like my favorite like snack. So like cookies and cream, ice cream, like just anything that has to pertain with Oreos is like my go-to.
Bet. All right, so we're down to that final question. That's the make or break question.
Oh my gosh.
You live in San Antonio, and you have both of these restaurants there. So it's either In-N-Out or Whataburger.
This is easy. In-N-Out all the way.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. 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 It's Whataburger. I've never eaten at In-N-Out. I've never had it, so I don't think I want to try it. I from what I've heard from it, but my Whataburger's my go-to. It's homegrown. Like, how can you go wrong with Whataburger?
I was about to like click.
I got up. I was like, no.
I know. I saw you run. And I was like, ooh, wrong answer.
The whole Dr. Phil like dramatic. Dr. Phil Maury. Oh my god, doing the whole Maury. But what's your go-to meal for Whataburger if you had to go?
Ooh, I really like the mushroom Swiss burger. I think that one's a really good one. And then whenever it is in season, or I guess or in stock, the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. That one's a really good one.
I tried it for the first time ever because I usually always get a number 2 or the patty melt. And I tried it. And I was like, you know what? It's in season. Let me give it a shot. Oh my god, it changed my life forever. And
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm like, man, this is good. I never really finish all my food, and that day I finished it, and he looked at me like, you never finish your food. I was like, I know.
Yeah, I like that it's chicken strips. So like I cut it into 3 pieces and I'm just eating like each strip by itself with like the condiments and the buns.
I didn't even think of it that way. Look at that.
It's like Chipotle whenever the burrito tears apart.
Oh, yeah.
So let's take it back. As a young Devin Carter, what got you into wrestling?
What got me into wrestling really had to be with like my father and my grandpa. We would always watch Monday Night Raw, SmackDowns, with like Thursday night SmackDowns, Friday night, like wherever it would go, we would watch it. TNA, I was really big in TNA growing up as well. But it honestly had to do with like going to indie shows. Like indie shows made me fall in love. So going to RCW, going to BOW, going to like all these local wrestling promotions really made me fall in love and get involved in the action.
You're the third person to say that they actually grew up on indie wrestling. First was Casey Black Rose and Key Vibes. Talk about how cool it is to watch BOW and then have your first match against was it Dill Dempsey? December.
Yeah, back in December, I had to fill in for Richie Garcia for the number 1 contenders for Alexander Crowley. But I was so nervous to find out like that day that I had to have this match. It was nerve-wracking for me, but once I got there, once I got to talk to Richie Garcia and Dill, it was a piece of cake. I am so honored that my first match at BOW was against him. He was so smooth in the ring. It was like our chemistry was good. Like the whole match, like it's one of my favorites. Like I can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, it was a really good match. That's crazy. You found out the day of that you were going to be wrestling. Man, you must have been real nervous.
Yeah, I was so nervous. I just remember Richie calling me and was like, I have a match for you. We got you in a match. And then Alexander Crawley, you're in this match. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I was like, I need to get my clothes ready. I need my gear ready, my boots. I was like rushing to find everything to make sure I had it ready. And like luckily enough, I live not that far. So I was like, okay, I can be there within the time frame you need me. And I just remember going out there, right before I go out and make my entrance, I was just nerve-wracking, pacing back and forth. And then as soon as my music hit, my beat dropped, I walked out the curtain, a whole nother like mood hit me, and I was like in the game. And then going to the back, hearing that the promoter really liked it, that the promoter thought I did a really good job, and the other wrestlers as well, like they all congratulated me. So it was just like a warm feeling that everyone saw like the star power that I had, and they all thought I did a really good in that match.
The match was really good. You returned in January to team with Richie against Benny Dreams and Josh Galvan, the Gulf Coast Connection. That was another really good match as well. I think that one, I personally like that one over the singles with Dill Dempsey, but that's
it's just the chemistry that all four of y'all guys have, and then previously, you know, working in GCWA and everything. Like, I feel like that chemistry in the ring, y'all guys knew each other where y'all guys were going. It just like looked so flawless in the ring. I'm like, oh my god, like
Thank you. To this day, that tag team match with Richie defending those titles is like it's one of my favorite matches. It's like one of the matches that I cherish. I always bring it up to him, like, that's where I had the most fun, and it felt so natural. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like we had to work so much harder than what we needed to do. And then working with Benny and Josh, they were great. Like, the chemistry we had, like y'all said, it was good. And then again, to find out that day that what we had to go through, like what we had to put on, it made it all much better.
Who are some of the indie wrestlers that you watched, idolized growing up then, since you went to BOW, RCW, any other places you went to?
TWA, I went to GCWA as well. I went to, honestly, anywhere like near San Antonio, Corpus, because I have family over there. So when we would go to like Corpus area, we would go to those local shows as well. But like Chris Marvel, I remember watching him growing up. He was one of my favorites. Also Don Juan, watching him doing his Don Juan and then his other persona. Like, it was great growing up watching that. There's so many that I grew up watching that helped me like decide to pursue this career, but honestly, Chris Marvel has to be like my top.
That's definitely cool to hear. Hopefully, y'all get a match down the line. Then,
doing those student versus teacher matches, and I'm waiting to see it. Devin Carter versus Chris Marvel.
It's gonna happen soon. I mean, we have some history. Royal Taxation, Texas Treats. It's bound to happen.
I'm excited. What's the inspiration behind your character, the Fashionista? Like, what drew you to do this character in the ring?
I was when I was going to college, I've always been a fan of fashion. I've always been a fan of clothes, like looking good, looking the part. Wherever I go, I don't like to just dress casual. I always like to dress up. So when I was actually going to college, I was studying fashion and fashion design. So I've always had a love for fashion. And then once I decided like college isn't for me, like this wasn't making me happy, I pursued wrestling. And then I was like, who is me? Like, what character screams me? And of course, the Fashionista came to life, and now I'm bringing it to the ring.
Yeah.
It's like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, so no, I'm sorry. It's like both of my worlds coming together, and it's great.
Yeah. Let's take you back just a little bit. You said you went to college and then you went into your wrestling career. How did you find hybrid, or what drew you to hybrid to go and train?
Since RCW, I was a big fan of RCW for so many years, and I decided that college wasn't making me happy, and during that time, my father passed away, and I wasn't happy working. I wasn't happy going to college, and me and my father never had like a really close relationship. So, but the one thing that we did have was wrestling, and I just remember like all the fond moments that we had watching wrestling, going to all these wrestling events. I was like, what's something that makes me happy? And of course, wrestling went. And then I remembered RCW was such a big thing when I was growing up. So I messaged Oliver, and I was like, hey, like I want to become a wrestler. Like, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go for it to happen? And he messaged me back and told me the place to be is hybrid. My father passed away in 2020, and then 2021 hit, and I vowed to like start and go. And so January of 2021, I've been with hybrid.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to hear about your father passing
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, at least it drew you to where you actually love and where it makes you happy. I was in college as well, and I wasn't happy with that stuff either.
Mm-hmm.
sometimes college is not made for everyone.
Yeah.
Kids watching, I mean, do go to college and try
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
for some people it's good, some people it's not. Like for me, I got super anxiety like when schools would talk about college and doing the SATs and the ACTs it scared me away from all of that. So I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Mhm.
We're gonna get to like some fan questions real quick.
Mhm.
One person, Draco _30. That's how you pronounce
Mhm.
it. You kind of answered it already, but if you want to go into more detail, you can. Why the gimmick as a fashionista?
Mhm.
You kind of answered it already, so
Yeah. Just like I said, I've always had a love for fashion. Um, I wanted to do something that was authentically me rather than pushing a character that I wouldn't like or pushing a character that one day I would have to change. So I would just went with the fashionista. Like I said, it's my love for fashion and my love for wrestling into one. And um, I can always what's it called? Reinvent myself more with fashion. I can always do more stuff with it.
revamp like you dread.
Yeah.
Um, from wrestling _fanatic 1. Who do you look up to in wrestling?
Ooh, that's a good one. Who do I look up to? Mm, I guess back then I really looked up to Eddie Guerrero growing up. Just like his character, whether he was a good guy or a bad guy, you can always get behind him. I look up to him today because his whole like I said before, his lie, cheat, and steal, like that gimmick, that era that he had was so over. And as a heel, that's what I want to do. That's what those emotions that I felt when he was going running is what I want other people to feel. And then I guess who like inspires me today um, would have to be like my coach Chris Marvel. He's always there. He's always at training every day of the week. Every day that we're there, he's there. He's always pushing us. He's always teaching us new things. It's great learning from him, and like he's one of my dream matches. So again, he's like someone that I look up to.
Nice. All right. Our next question is from the_LX3. When are you fighting LX3? He's asking. He wants to smoke. So
If someone wants to book it, I'm here for it. I'm always looking for a fight. I'm always looking for a new opponent. I'm always looking to make a name for myself. Like I'm the fashionista. I need to like I need to make a brand for myself. I need to expand. And if he wants to be a stepping stool, let him be that. I'm here.
LX3, if you're watching, OTOB, if you're watching, y'all's next show. The next show y'all have is coming up March 26th. LX3 already has a match, but the next show after that, April, May, June, whenever they decide to run again, LX3 versus the fashionista, Devin Carter. I'll be there for it.
I'm down for it.
And the final one, you kind of answered this one right again, but I'll throw it out there. Wrestling _fanatic 1 again. How did he come up with the character?
Oh my gosh. Like I said before, the love for wrestling, the love for fashion into one. There we go.
he really wants to know, man.
And who's been your favorite opponent to step in the ring with currently? I know you don't have that many opponents yet, but who's been your favorite so far?
My favorite so far, I would have to say, would be Zakai Living. We entered, well, I entered it before he did, and when he entered wrestling, we just gravitated towards each other. We work a lot together. We know each other's past and everything. We know why we came into this business. Um, he's someone that I know well, someone that I can like know at like the back of my hand. And I feel like whether we're opponents, whether we're partners, we just have great chemistry. And so far, every match that we've had, we've always had like a really good match showing. So he's my favorite opponent so far.
That was actually leading to another question. You faced him in November or December at a hybrid,
Yes.
and y'all got a lot of praise for that match. And a whole bunch of students, Casey Blackrose, I think Marvel,
I think Crowley mentioned it.
Crowley, I'm pretty sure Richie, a few others have
Mhm.
mentioned it on their stories and all that. I went back to go watch it. That match was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How was it to get that high praise? And that wasn't your first match, or was that your first match?
That was both of our debut matches. So it
So
was. Oh no, go on.
how was it to get that praise in y'all's debut match? Then it was a really good match.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was really good to hear like from the coaches, from everyone that we were able to do that. Not only that, not only was it my debut match, it was also Zakai's debut match. And usually, when you have a debut match, you're up with someone who's a veteran. But for both of us, we were both new coming in, both our first match, and for us to be able to have that type of match, for to have the fans scream, "This is awesome," was like totally on belief. Like I just remember going backstage and just getting a standing ovation from everyone, from the grads, from the coaches, from all the big name stars that we brought in. We got so many critiques, so many like praises. It was just it was amazing feeling. Like everything that I worked for that moment just meant the world to me.
That was a really good match. I forgot what we were doing, but I was like, "Hey, we gotta stop doing this. We gotta watch this match." They had uploaded to YouTube already, so I was like, "We gotta watch it."
I was editing photos that day, and he's like, "Hey," and like, "Let's sit down and watch this." I was like, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "It's Devin's debut match." I was like, "Okay, all right, I want to see this." And we sat through it, and I was amazed. Like it was amazing to see that kind of reaction in the crowd. I was like, "Holy shit! Like this is good."
It's so funny because during that match, you only have each other like you're only communicating with each other, and we were just so both focused on putting on this match and giving the crowd like something to chant for like that. So we were going like we were in that moment, and for me, I didn't hear any of it. Like I didn't hear "This is awesome." I didn't hear. I just heard like a noise, but I didn't know what they were like what they were chanting until I head to the back until they told us like this is what people were saying. I was like, like I was stunned. I was like I couldn't speak.
Going back to hybrid, and you actually had a match, tag match, right? It was a tag match in January. February. I'm going way back. Jesus, February. You went against Zakai and
Ricardo Jesus Rodriguez.
yes,
Ricardo
and
Rodriguez. Mm-hmm.
how was it like to be in the ring with a former WWE superstar like Ricardo?
It was honestly it was great. Like for me personally, I was so nervous because I'm getting to have this opportunity to be in a ring with a former WWE superstar. Um, I was nervous. I was like scared because I didn't know what to expect. But once we talked about it, once we went out there, I was completely comfortable. Everything just felt right. Like it didn't feel like I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel unsure about anything. I went out there and I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. This is what I have to prove to not only myself, but to someone of that caliber. And uh, one of my favorite, like, I can't, like, it, so many of my matches, like all the matches are my favorite matches, but to be in the ring with with the former WWE superstar, like that one's definitely going to be like in the top like of my memories.
That was a fun match. You teamed up with Chip Garrison,
Mm-hmm.
um, take them on. It was really good. I was glad to actually see that live. You and Sakai, is that how you pronounce it?
Zakai.
Yeah, Zakai.
Okay, seeing y'all two step up one on one in the ring and everything. I was like, okay, I want to see this. This is dope.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to hybrid, what's been the hardest thing you had to learn?
The hardest thing that I had to learn would probably be my front rows and back rows. Those were like the hardest thing that I could have learned there. I remember my front rows taking me at least like 2 months to get down. And I was like, I don't understand like how I don't have this down already. And then the back rows as well, like they were hard, but everything else after that came easy. But yeah, the front rows and back rows. And now I'm watching like the students training and they're getting it in a day. And I'm like, was something wrong with me? Because I couldn't do that. I was like, what? And then I go and like I'm teaching them or like I'm helping them. And I was like, I don't even want to help you anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, you're doing it and it's your first day in here. And it took me 2 months to do that. Like, it like makes me mad, but that was the hardest.
I can imagine you just there, like if they had like a whole like kind of like the office kind of thing where you had like a mic on, like Marvel, get this mic off of me. I'm not doing this no more. Like I can't do this. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm going home. See y'all next week. We're good. I'm good.
We're gonna get out to the last three questions before we end it. One thing I want to talk about is you're the manager for Royal Taxation, Richie Garcia and Brandon Weiss. How did that come all together for you to start managing them?
Well, when I first started at Hybrid, Richie Garcia and Brandon Weiss were like the what's it called? Like the ring, I guess the ringleaders, the leaders of the school. And I've always looked up for I always looked up to them. They were always someone that I really wanted to work with closely, whether it was as a team or as someone I wanted to face. They were always at the top of my list. And then once it was getting closer time for me to wrestle, they pitched us an idea of me working with Brandon because at the time Richie was taking his break. So originally it was supposed to be me and Brandon, and I was totally up for it because for me, being new to the scene, being new to the indies, I don't know like how well I'll be received, how it works. So I wanted someone of that, someone who's already worked it to be like my guide and my help to explore and venture out. And then at the time everything was getting set in stone, Richie came back and Royal Taxation formed again. And they were like, well, since we have them, why don't we put you with them and see how that goes? And ever since then, I've been managing with them. We go work out together. We spend time together as a group. Like we're not just there for the photos. Like we talk to each other every day. We're there for each other when we need each other. And like we have a really good chemistry. Like it's not something that we have to force on each other to make it look good. Like we genuinely have that chemistry when you see us in the ring together. And like ever since then, like it's been skyrocketing for us. And I'm so glad that we're getting the opportunities that we're getting, and like they're able to show me the ropes.
You are the current BOW Tag Team Champions. Come April 23rd, y'all be at PPW in a fatal four-way tag match for the tag titles. April 23rd, right?
Yeah, April 23rd. And you have Team Mexico with mystery opponents. You have Team Hybrid, the team of just E. James and David Kidd. And then we have
to say his name.
Oh, okay, we just say the Kid. We'll just go.
Yeah, the Kid. We'll just leave it like that.
And I always forget is Thoracic Express, I think, or Thoracic Park, I think is what they are.
Yeah, one of the two.
One of the dinosaur guys.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
So hopefully y'all get more titles wrapped around y'all's waist with those. And you have Hybrid coming up this Saturday, the 12th, March 12th. They haven't announced any matches, but call someone out. Who are you looking forward to facing?
Ooh. There's a list of people at Hybrid that I'm wanting to get my hands on. The top of that list would be Casey Blackrose. He thinks he's a top dog at hybrid. He's not. He's really not. I've seen what he does. I've seen all the matches he's been in. I've only been in a couple. I haven't shown what I can really do. Another one, Diego Rene. He got lucky with this last month. Like he he was scared. I can tell. That's why he didn't show up. Um, Another one, Jesse James is another name that I really want to have a match with. Jet Black. The list can go on, but those four are my top.
I want to hear you cut a promo right now on Casey Blackrose because I know he's watching right now.
Casey, ooh, I don't want to like hurt his feelings though. I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't think he's ready for what I have to say to him.
Ooh.
Some fighting words. But speaking of opponents you want to face, who are some dream opponents, whether they're mainstream WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, or Texas Indie Wrestling?
I guess if from WWE, my dream opponent would be Dolph Ziggler. He's just someone that I look up to, aspire to be, someone that my character kind of is based around. So I think he would be a really good opponent for me. From AEW, I would love to face Sammy Guevara. I watched him here in the Indies when he would wrestle in town. I've seen him like rise up the ranks where he's at now, so he would be another fun match for me. And then as far as the Indies go, I want to say Alexander Crowley is on the top of my list. And then I want to say ASF, Antonio San Francisco. He's another one that I would really want to face. But yeah.
I have two that I want to bring up. I have an intergender match for you. It would be you versus Scarlett Bordeaux. To see her do that Canadian destroyer on you. I'm sorry, but it would look clean.
If she can be able to give it to me, I don't know. I don't think I would let her. I don't think I'll give her the chance.
And then my second one, honestly, would be you versus Joe Alonso, promo versus promo, because y'all both, he does some mean promos. Really mean.
Yeah.
It would be really good for both of y'all, too.
Yeah, I was able to work a show with him and us both being back there, and he's someone that really caught my eye. He's like authentically himself, and he's not afraid of to be himself, and I really applaud that. And I think with his mouth, the game that he can do and what I can do, both on the mic, I think it would be pretty good, pretty solid.
He doesn't hold back though. That's the thing. He does not.
Yeah.
Hold back.
I mean, well, I don't hold back either. Let's.
Ooh.
I want that match now.
Yeah, see, there you go. I put two of them out there. We're down to the final question. This one is a heart-wrenching one. If you've seen our shows before, this is something that kind of makes you think a little bit. What's the legacy you want to leave behind inside or outside of the ring?
The legacy that I want to leave behind is, as someone who is a part of the LGBTQ community, I want to be that voice. I want to be that person that people, that the young kids look up to, that are afraid to speak out, that are afraid to follow their dreams because of their background, their sexual orientation, wherever they come from. I want them to know, like, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you have the heart and the desire to make things happen, you can make it happen. I want to be the person to give those kids who are too scared a voice. Like when growing up, I didn't have no one to look up to. Like I didn't really have anybody. But now with everything going on, with all the movements going on, there's so much that's helping us as a community push forward. And I just want to be another stepping stone to further that future for all of us.
And I thank you. I really do.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
I like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't plug any shows you're going to be at this month, the next month, onward that you have. You can plug them. Go ahead.
I'm going to be at, of course, the Hybrid Show, Road to Hybridmania, March 12th. And then April 2nd, I am going to be at Hybridmania. And then at PPW, March 23rd.
April 23rd.
I'll be
April
at
23rd.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. April 23rd, I'll be at the PPW. And as of right now, those are the only three that I can remember. If there's more, then of course my socials will have all that information about it.
And then you can plug your socials as well. I forgot to bring that up.
And plug in your socials.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Devin Carter, THEE, and then DEVIN, and then Carter, CARTER.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. If you are watching, thanks for watching. To the audio listeners, after the season ends, we will not be uploading audio anymore.
It'll be strictly on YouTube.
Strictly on YouTube. So if you don't, if you only listen to audio, go subscribe. Emo Sawal Productions, EMO SEWA Productions. That's Awesome Spell Backwards Productions. We upload every Monday at 10 a.m. So subscribe to that. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that
Good
YouTube
stuff.
shit. And
All that good stuff.
thanks for being on, man. We really appreciate it. And until then, we'll catch y'all guys the next one. Peace,
Bye.
love, tacos.